everyone, Julian here. Today I'm going to show you how to make Sewerslvt'S style ambient breakcore. To go along this video, you can grab the full project file, samples, MIDI, presets. The entire template from the intro is available at the top of the description on my website. It's just $5, really accessible, and it's also really helps support me making more videos like this for you guys, showing you these production secrets. Link is at the top of the description. Thanks for the support, everybody, and let's dive in. We're at 170 BPM. First thing we got up here is the pad. So this is kind of comprised of two main layers here, because what we're doing is we got the pad, which is playing the chords, and then this thing, which just kind of drones that one high note there. So to start with the pad chords, it's playing so it's starting here on the C minor 9. Right, so if you look at this, it's a basic C minor chord. We got like root note, fifth, another root note, another fifth, and then this minor third, which would be right normally there. And then we also have a ninth, which is basically one note down from the minor third, right? So this is just a basic C minor triad, right? And then we got another G up there across a few different octaves, and then yeah, we get the minor third and the ninth in there. And then here we go up to the D sharp major 7, right? But if you notice, this is using the same. That is now the root note of this chord and the major 7th. But by holding on to those two voices up there, you know, it makes the chords transition very nicely. Now for the actual sound, is made with this instrument rack. So to get these kinds of pads like you hear, these old school pads were made a lot with different like layered together synthesizers. And also in stuff like, you know, the Korg M1, where they would have these patches that would be a bunch of different synth sounds just laid on top of each other kind of in the patch already. So what we're doing here is we've got first this wavetable, this analog, or this operator, and then this string. So you can see they all kind of do something different, and then they come together and create this big lush pad, right? So the wavetable patch, we got this organ wavetable, we got this freak wavetable, we have a band pass, and then there's an envelope on the filter frequency that like opens and closes it, plus an LFO on the oscillator position of those first two oscillators. This operator is just some simple FM with sine waves, right? Just across different octaves, so you get this big kind of like digital FM keyboard type of sound. And then yeah, a little bit of an LFO on the volume of oscillator B, and then the string sample, we're just high passing that. And then that's all going into a bit of reverb and a high pass filter. Again, you don't need that much processing because the sound comes together from the layers. And then like I said, there's this one note droning here on this synth, which is also part of that pad. That really like just hangs there while those are moving, while they change chords, right? So the actual note is just playing C. Again, we're in the key of C minor, so pretty simple there. We've got this operator patch, which is just like some sine waves doing FM. Pretty simple stuff. They're just an octave apart. A bit of chorus, a bit of reverb, and then a high pass. And we're high passing this up pretty high, so it won't clash with that pad. Then we have the drums. So what we're doing here is we basically have like a main break up here. Then I've also got these ones. But this is kind of like that main one that you're hearing. Right? So what you do is you start with that. So I had like this, and I did the chopping and all of that. Right? And then you're going to high pass it, because we're going to get this out of the low end, and then we're going to saturate it. Right? And just like push it. And then an EQ cutting the lows again and then pushing the highs. So once you have your chops, and then you do that processing, right, make it really crunchy with the saturator, then we get the kick and the snare. So this is like a 909 kick. You know, pretty simple, but it's going to punch through the whole mix. This is a snare that I chopped out of a break beat. Right, so then we've got those filling in the low end and kind of adding a bit more punch. Then you go and you add a few more breaks. So then we have these guys, which you can see aren't exactly playing the same pattern, and they're not even playing the exact same pattern as this. But you get a certain groove there from having those be slightly different patterns. Right, you can hear that, and it has that really nice classic jungle, like overproduced breaks, all that kind of sound. So again, it's just taking these different breaks, and they're still chopped a bit on their own. Right, but it's not following that same pattern. And then I've just got a bit of filtering, like a high passing and a low pass on this third break too, to get rid of some of that harsh high end. Then on the group of all the drums at one time, this is one of the few genres where you want to put all the drums in one group. We're just doing a bit of saturation. So here's without it. With. So there you go. That's how you get that insane crushed breakcore kind of modern drums. It's just by pushing that. So what we're doing here is, yeah, it's the soft sine. That's what really gives you that like push thing, especially when you get the high end in the amen break pushing against this kick. Here how it distorts every time the kick hits. That's what you're trying to get, and this does that. And the secret to this is we're actually blending it. Even though you would think this would be this really heavy distortion, it's only at 32%. 100% is like way too much. It's just like losing definition at that point. And that's the secret, is you push it to that point where it's just about to be like that, but it still has like some kind of, and then it still sounds nice and crunchy. And then the last element we have here is the 808 bass line. Now, this might seem complicated. It's actually very simply following the chords. Like if you look at this, what are we in? We're in C minor. So this first chord, right? C, and then another C. And this is just the fourth. That's a good voice to use with these bass lines. Like you use like a root note and a fourth. And it has that really classic jungle sound. And then here, again, same thing. Then it goes to this D sharp major chord there. So what is this? D sharp. And then we have a fifth of that. And then another root note. So these are only two notes that you're actually using from the chord to make these. Here it's just octaves. And then here, yeah, it's that same D sharp and the fifth. So it's very simple. And then it's just that groove with the eighth notes that bounce off of the drum breaks so well. Right? So you want to have the drum breaks, and then you go and you can do the groove of this over top of that. And then for the actual sound, it's literally just an 808 sample. You don't need a whole lot else, because if you start to oversaturate this and overprocess it, you know, it's really just going to mess it up. And really what you're probably trying to do is just get the level right, with like saturation and that kind of stuff. So just turn it up loud enough. As long as you turn it up loud enough, you should be good. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, everything from this video is available at the top of the description on my website. Once again, this is a great template to make these tracks. If you grab this right now, I promise you'll get unstuck. This stuff can be a little bit tricky, but this template is going to take you to the next level and really help you get where you're trying to get. Link is at the top of the description. Don't miss out while it's available, guys. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.